Hi, my presentation is on lemur leaf frogs. So who are they? Their real name, scientific name, is Agalichnus lemurs. They're very small. They average around 4 centimeters long. They can change their color. They're green during the day, and then they turn to a very dark green, almost brown at night to blend in with the leaves because they are tree dwellers. And they also have orange legs, and they have a black line around their eyes that looks like they are wearing eyeliner. Then for their eyes, which is the most obvious feature of their body, their eyes are very large and they can also change color. They're silver or gold during the day, and they're gray or brown at night to blend in with the darkness, the sun, or the darkness of night. And then instead of hopping, these frogs like to walk hand over hand like mammals. Unless they're really in a hurry or trying to be aggressive, then they'll hop, but they tend to just walk around. For their feet, their toes are not webbed, which is unlike many frogs. And their toes are separate like human appendages. For their behavioral ecology, they are usually very aggressive and territorial. So if there is another male, if there's 2 males on a leaf, the more dominant male will push off the other male off of the leaf, or if there's a male and a female and the male feels that he's undesired, he will push the female off of his leaf. And the males have 2 kinds of calls: a call for mating, so they have a call to bring females to them, and then a call for defense, which lets other males know that they are going into that territory. So it's just like a warning, basically. They tend to eat insects, mostly crickets and roaches and that type of thing. They have to be smaller than the width of their mouth though, since these frogs are so tiny. And they really depend on water for reproduction. So when they reproduce, they lay their eggs on the underside of a leaf. And then when the eggs feel like vibrations or moisture, they'll fall off because they think it's rain, and they're trying to get to a pool of water so that they can hatch in the stagnant pool of water or stable pool of water. For their population ecology, they're also very dependent on temperatures for a few reasons, because they can prevent Batrachotrium dendrobatiditis, which prevents chytridiomycosis. And these are diseases that plague a lot of amphibians, and they're only able to do this because of a protein in their skin, which allows them to sit out in the sun, because many frogs don't sunbathe because it'll dehydrate them, but this protein helps them to reflect sunlight rays instead of absorbing them, and then that raises the skin temperature, which kills off chytridiomycosis. And they also depend on temperatures for reproduction, because these frogs, lemur leaf frogs, like to be in pretty cold temperatures for about a week before they actually mate. For community ecology, there are 3 known communities of lemur leaf frogs. They're in Panama, Costa Rica, and Colombia, and that is because these frogs are going extinct. They are critically endangered right now, and because they like to live in trees, specifically rainforests, and so they can only live in very specific parts of the world. Also, they only have a lifespan of 5 to 10 years, which is actually a pretty long time for how small of an organism these frogs are. For their ecosystem ecology, there are many things threatening them. Mostly it's humans. Humans are cutting down a lot of trees, which takes away these frogs' homes. They cut down trees for wood harvesting, for housing, that sort of thing. And then humans also like to capture these frogs, and just because they are interesting. And then they also have threats such as animals and diseases. Snakes are their main predators, but they also have other predators. And Chytridiomycosis does plague some of the frogs, even though they have that protein. It still does affect quite a few of the frogs, so that's another threat to them. And then for temperature, if it's too warm, then they can't reproduce because they don't really like to reproduce in warm weather. But if it's too cold, then they can't overcome the disease. So they have to have like a perfect balance of the two. There are quite a few conservation efforts put in place for protecting and saving these little frogs, such as Project Citizen Conservation and Project Lemur, which consists of the Costa Rican Amphibian Research Center, the Bristol Zoo, the Manchester Museum, the Chester Zoo, and Norden's Ark. So they are all doing this because of a few reasons. One is that these frogs do have that protein that can help them stay in the sun and heat up their skin and kill off chytridiomycosis, and that can potentially save other amphibians if scientists can figure out how that actually works. And also because God called us to protect these animals, and we should be trying our best to save all the animals and not let any of them go extinct. We're also trying to save them because they're really cute, as you can see in all the pictures. They're pretty adorable little lemur leaf frogs.